Hello everyone and welcome to this week's update for landscapetoday.net. This is your update for Monday, December 7th. Well, it's been a relatively tranquil last week across the nation. It's starting to get a little bit more interesting, especially in the Pacific Northwest, but as we evolve with the weather pattern over the next week to 2 weeks, it's going to get stormy again across the United States. And for those of you in the snow removal business, you're going to be getting more and more busy leading up to Christmas week and New Year. So let's take a look at what's going on. First of all, this is our current pattern that we're in right now. Notice a general west to east flowing jet stream across the United States. When it's flat like this, you're really not going to have a lot of weather. But what we are going to notice and point out here is right here, a very strong, very persistent and moist Pacific jet stream wind. Is this going to be lined up right into the Pacific Northwest coast? This is going to lead to enhanced precipitation right here over the next several days. The Pacific Northwest will be battered by high winds, heavy rain on the coast, the coastal mountains, the Cascades, as well as the central and northern Sierras. We're talking about not just inches of snow, but feet of snow over the next 5 days. This storm, this week's storm, is going to be a big boost to the snowpack in the Pacific Northwest as well as California's Sierras. We're also going to see rain extend a little bit further down to the coast here as well as the week wears on. The rest of the nation in this west-east flow really won't have too much going on. But let's fast forward to 10 days from now. And you can see as we toggle back and forth, we are seeing a change from this west to east flow across the nation to one, which is what we call highly amplified as we get into the time frame of December 12th. This is by next Thursday. This is a pattern not unlike what happened Thanksgiving week. The difference, though, is the trajectory of the cold air is not so far west like it was last time when California had freezing temperatures. But this is going to be a dive of cold air into the nation's heartland, the Rockies, the Great Basin, and points east. And what you're going to see will be a series of systems developing this weekend and next week that will originate in the Gulf of Alaska, will slide down into this trough and then move through. And notice right where it's moving through, the Midwest. So we're going to have portions of the Midwest, Chicago, possibly Detroit, maybe St. Louis, Omaha, Denver, Colorado Springs, maybe Amarillo. These are locations we need to watch over the next 1 to 2 weeks for some harsh winter weather conditions developing with snow and ice and wind and much colder temperatures evolving. So we've got some big changes coming, and you can see the 10-day rain forecast, precipitation forecast. Here are the heavy amounts of precipitation along the coast, big snows in the mountains there, and up to 5 inches of rain in the Pacific Northwest coast. Also notice a perennial wet spot continues to be here in the nation's midsection. Now this is mostly rain. As these storms come in and start to dive bomb this way, initially this will be rain, but as we get into the middle to the end of next week, or maybe even a little bit earlier than that, there's going to be some snow in that mix, so keep that in mind. Let's take a look at the overview of the long-range outlook. These are the major weather trends we're watching. Very stormy in the Pacific Northwest, not only raining and snowing, but a lot of wind. This will be the second major wind event for the Pacific Northwest in the last 3 weeks. So watch out for that. The northern Rockies, the plains, places like Denver, Great Falls, Montana, Billings, Rapid City will all be looking at some very strong winds. Mild but wet in the south central and southeastern states. Then be ready for big changes. Winter weather conditions develop after December 11th for a lot of the nation, especially the middle of the nation. Thanks for tuning in this week to landscapetoday.net. We'll talk to you next week, and next week's update should prove interesting. Have a great day, everyone.